The greatest ideas have come from sitting on the toilet. Every day, some company, individual, or group is known for giving the public a load of bullshit. Come here to get your daily dose of shit by Alan Cousin. It's time you hear the shit everyone wants to know.
Hello there, and welcome to your Daily Dose of Shit with your host, Alan Cousin. That's right. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Hope you're enjoying your day. I definitely am myself. It's actually 65 degrees here in Texas on March 15th, 2023. And I'm not sure if you know, today is the Ides of March. So I don't want to say Happy Ides of March because that was not a happy day in Rome. But today is the Ides of March. I wonder if many people even know that, because not many people pay attention to the historian factor sometimes. So maybe, hopefully today will be good for people because it definitely was not good for Rome back in that time period. Well, what am I going to talk about today? That's the question. Well, I will be honest with you. My day went a bit slow, but it was progressive but slow. But I, of course, did my normal thing, went to my porcelain throne, looked at my news, which honestly didn't have a lot of news. I mean, most of it, of course, was about the whole banking with Silicon banking situation and so forth, and about unemployment. So really, it wasn't a lot going on per se, as far as like a lot of news. So I was just thinking to myself, and then, of course, as I was thinking about the things I needed to get done and so forth, I let out this tremendous fart while sitting on my, toilet. And let me tell you, it was very vocalizing. Caught me off guard, actually, to the point where I had to, kind of catch myself, So, and I was thinking about that, I am one to try to eat healthy, take care of myself. I tend to eat a lot of seafood, salads. And I tend to eat a lot of things that tend to digest very well, but I notice gives off a lot of gas, like beans and, seafood and fish. And I tend to give off a lot of gas. And it's interesting when you think about it, because, it's the way people acknowledge you when you let out gas. It's almost like it's an embarrassment or something. I mean, even though it is a fact of life that you have to let out gas, because if you don't let out the gas, which is a toxin, by the way, and you hold it in too long and never let it out, you actually could possibly die or cause damage to your body. So it's interesting because you really need to let out the gas so that you can keep those toxins from affecting your body. But at the same time, when you let out the gas, it causes sometimes laughter or fear, depending on the intensity of the sound and the smellness, of course, and the length it can go when given or, blown out, so to speak. So it's just really interesting to me because it's like you're meant to have gas. But when you have gas, you don't want to really do it in public because of the effects that it will cause people to encounter, or the reactions you'll get from people when you effectively let out gas. So I was just like, but it's interesting also because you never think farts could be worth something, right? But there was a young lady, I can't remember her name, unfortunately, she was on TikTok. She actually created a fart in a jar company, and she actually farted in a jar and, made the jar look nice and pretty and sold it. And people bought it. That's what people bought it. And she made over $1 million. Now, I don't understand why a person would want to buy a fart in a jar. I mean, granted, yes, the young lady was very attractive according to American standards, but I mean, are you so perverted that you would want to buy a fart in a jar from a beautiful woman. I mean, I never could understand why. And trust me, I wish I could utilize my farts for some potential funding or engagement business, because I mean, I do it so often and so much. I wish I could store it and actually sell it myself, because trust me, that'd be a great deal, because the amount I give off, I mean, it could probably fill up a car tank, or a gas tank. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I mean, hey, I know what I am. I know who I am, and I know my system, and I know my digestive system, and I understand that it's just the way it is. One of my girls, I mean, she used to didn't fart a lot, but after she had surgery and took out her I can't remember the name of it, but basically her urethra, she started to fart more, a lot of gas actually. I'm not sure, maybe because her, after taking out her ability to have children, maybe the intestines started to open up more, because there was a gap there now that needed to be filled, or what. But yeah, she has now had more gas than even I at times, and it's like, wow. I mean, it caught us off guard for a while, because I was like, whoa, But it's funny, we just laugh about it and everything. But it's just like, you really never think about farting. You never think about gas. You never think about the reactions and actions of it, or, like when you're trying to walk in, all of a sudden, you have to gas, and you're like, oh my God, I'm in front of all these people. I have gas. Okay. Can I hold it? Can I get to the car in time? Or, I can't get out. I'm stuck here for a minute. Can I do a softie? Can I let it out and nobody hear? Should I take that chance? And it's true. I mean, like if you're in a movie theater, and you're sitting down, you might do a softie where you let it out so soft and so slow that, of course, it doesn't make any sound. But then there's times when, of course, you let it out thinking everything's going to be fine, and catches you off guard, and people hear. Or better yet, you do it, but you blame someone else, like, oh my God, man, who was that? And you're the one that did it. It's like, come on, man, really? I mean, there's those type of people, though, that are out there that they'll fart, and then they'll go and go, oh, man, who was that? And act like somebody else did it. It's just hilarious to me, because, you really don't think about how much pressure you put on yourself and how much thought, processing goes on when you're in the area with other people, and you have to fart, and you're like, oh my God, I have to fart, and I don't want to do it in front of all these people. I don't want them to hear me or smell it. I remember one time I was in Sam's Club, and I was just walking, and I just figured, I knew I had a fart, and I was like, well, no problem. I'll go ahead and just, let it out. So I just let it out. It was a softie, of course, Now, of course, sometimes those softies are the worst kind, because being that they don't make a lot of noise, they tend to possibly be very smelly. So, of course, I let out the softie like a torpedo, and that was it. And as I was walking, did not realize at the time I was walking that there was a kid that was walking right behind me. He just crossed me, and I went... And the kid, oh my God! And the kid, and the mom, I guess, because the kid made so much noise, hit him across the head, like, shh, what's wrong with you? And then she smelled it. She said, oh my God, why did you fart in here? And then she hit him again, because she thought he was the one that farted. I felt so bad. I was like, oh my God, I'm the one that farted. I made him make all that noise, and then his mother thought that he farted. And he got hit twice because of me. I felt so bad. I wish I wanted to just go back and say, man, I'm sorry. It wasn't him. It was me. I just started laughing so much, and I just went to Katie and told her, and she just started laughing too. And I was like, man, I can't believe I just did that to that kid. But I will say it's funny when you watch babies fart, because like babies sometimes, when they fart, they have these expressions that just literally are out of this world and will just make you bust out laughing because they're like, or their nose get really squingy or their eyes start getting like really tight, or they'll have this like, oh my god, it smells kind of expression. And it's just so funny because you're like, oh my god, this baby just farted. And it's almost like it smelled its own fart. And it's like, oh, help me, get me out of this baby seat. I can't breathe. I need help. Oh, take me away. Take me away. It's just interesting to me because, like I say, farting, it can be a funny situation. It could be a very stressful situation. It could be a well thought out situation. It could be a situation where you mentally think things through. I mean, it just depends on how you're going to fart, how small, soft or loud it's going to be, how much of it's going to be, how gaseous it will be, and of course the location and environment, how many people are around you. I remember there was times that I slept in my bed one time when I was really young, and my cousin, he slept over, and I swear I am not lying to you, he farted so abruptly that I fell out of the bed. Like the gas pushed me out of the bed, and the smell was so irritating that I had to leave the room. I mean, could you imagine that amount of gas and power that you're sleeping and someone's sleeping next to you and they fart and you pushed out of the bed? I remember one time my cousin was at our house, and he had just used the bathroom, did the number 2, and he flushed the toilet, of course, and sprayed, with air to, and then he started to have a lot of farting and gas afterwards, and he let out a lot of gas, after this bathroom situation, and it was so smelly. I'm talking about so rigid, so just whoa, that my stepmother was like, oh no, oh no. I mean, she literally started to be like, why did you do this to me? Why did you do this to me? Why did you fart so bad? Oh my god, it's so stinky. Oh my god, it's just so pungent that we all had to leave and go eat lunch because we had to wait for time for the house to air out. Could you imagine how stinky something has to be where you had to leave the house to let it air out? Like, bruh, like, why? And I mean, I felt bad because, my cousin was like, oh, I mean, why are you being so mean to me? And I did feel bad for him. I mean, he's just doing what bodies do, he's ate a lot and he had gas and he let it out and it was just very pungent, and I just felt bad for him, but it was like just hilarious that, we had to go eat lunch because we needed the house to air out, and, we opened the windows and so forth when we left, and it just, you never realize, you never know what farts can do. You never know how powerful they can be. You never know what they may do or the reactions you may get from having one. It's just, I will say one thing though. If you are currently having a girlfriend or boyfriend, husband or wife that has a lot of gas, I want to salute you. Hell, I want to give you a round of applause. Because let me tell you something. Dealing with someone who farts all the time is not an easy task at all. I mean, that takes tremendous amount of strength, a tremendous amount of power, brain power, the ability to not want to leave that individual, to want to have so much love for that individual that you stay, even though the pungency and the amount of farts and gas are just ridiculous. I mean, I just want to say I admire you. I want to say that is truly a loving relationship. Because let me tell you, sometimes that gas can just go out of control. Like literally, like I remember one time I had gas, and it was so hilarious that the animals, I'm talking about the pets, my dog and the cats, left the room. Because I had let out something so atrocious that they were like, no, we cannot. We shall not. And they left the room. And I laughed so hard because I was like, God, I felt so embarrassed, but at the same time, I just couldn't help but laugh. I was like, damn, that was so bad. My gas was so pungent that my own pets had to leave the room because it was just that bad. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's just like crazy. So I'm just saying. So for all you out there, may the gas be with you. Take care of yourself. Look towards seeing how this rest of this month's going to go, because with those 3 bank closes, it's kind of scared some people, and of course the stock market's still kind of slowly dwindling, and of course that's scaring some people as well. I mean, it's got a lot going on, so we'll see how this month of March goes into play, being of course spring of course is coming our way. But yeah, I just figured, I just talk about that, talk about farting, because I mean, hey, it's everyday life, right? Everybody does it. And if you don't do it, then hey, you need to email me, because I'd like to know why. Because trust me, I mean, there were times I was like, man, if I could just make one wish, never to fart ever again. But then it's like, where would it go? Like if I didn't fart, where would it go, So, I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, it's a way of life. Everybody has to do it. Everybody does it. It's just sometimes it comes at the right time, and hey, sometimes it comes at the wrong time. Either way, you got to do it one way or another, right? So, well, anyway, it was a pleasure talking to you. Hope you enjoyed the show. And, of course, I will talk to you again tomorrow. Until then, just remember, there are idiots everywhere. Just smile and make them feel better, okay?
Thanks for listening to your daily dose of shit talk show. If you have some insights, questions, or information of bullshit to pass on, please email us at momentousevents@aol.com. Make sure to come back daily to hear some new shit about money, business, life, and who knows what else, as I take a dump on the toilet.